Morning, everyone. Good afternoon and good evening. Brutal market. Nasdaq down 2%. Russell down 2.5% before the open. And the previous trading day, Nasdaq down 1.5% and then closes green. I think a lot of the people out there are just got faked from the yesterday moves. Even me. Russell opens below the 50 EMA and then rally back and close above all EMAs. Above the anchor fever from the swing high. Weekly looks very bullish, like an undercut and rally from the 9 EMA, and looking for more upside. But just one day later, it opens below yesterday low. That is brutal, especially for the traders who love setting stops. They love setting stops at the bar low. And could today be another rally, like an undercut and rally, the second green candle again, or start of a downtrend? No idea. SPY is getting down below the 21, starting to test the previous swing low support again. Still near the bottom range of this rectangle area. 9 WM still is above the previous swing high, and the leaders are still going. Like this light is still going. AOI is still going. Not sure when will we have a real flush to the downside. Another point is the metals is, as expected, is getting rejection and then breaking down. Hopefully that I can get a pullback into the declining 9 EMA. That's my plan. And I'll be sizing huge on the short side, because I've planned the short for a month since the first breakdown at the end of January. I'm looking for the pullback shorts, and then I think they're coming. Hopefully I can get an entry. We'll see. Try not to be FOMO. Too many retests. Maybe. I don't really know, but I agree. Like if you test the supports multiple times, it will gradually become less and less effective. It's like you're using a battering ram and trying to attack the gate of a city or a castle. Eventually you will get in. The question is when. Today's the day. I'm not sure. I don't know. Like this market is very tricky, but just trying to stick with my stocks and my plan. I'm looking to short this BATL, but I think like IBKR doesn't have any locates. The only stocks that I think could be an entry is the crypto names. Now it's yesterday a pop to the upside, but today trying to lose the 9-day again, and now it's under the hourly 9. Looking for a bounce into the declining 9 EMA on the hourly chart. And circle could be a rally into this gap and watch for the fade. If today starts fading back, then the weekly candle hopefully can close below the 21 EMA on the weekly chart. And that's my play. Let's see whether we get a rally or a crack or a chop. But I don't know. CK trying losing the 50 EMA for the first time since the April of last year. Not sure if it's a undercut or a reclaim or a clean move to the downside. And then Nvidia yesterday I got stopped out. Not sure about today's entry. I believe there will be a bounce, at least, and hopefully the 600-ish area or higher. Yeah, AV is really brutal. That is pretty crazy. USAR and UUUU are what are the uranium names that I'm plan to play the long side, because yesterday the strength for the uranium is pretty standing out, and I thought if the market is going to improve from here, then I may probably try them, but everything changed overnight and not anymore. Just shorter circle on this opening range breakdown. I don't like it, but just trying to see whether it works out or not. Probably covering some Western Digital here. Cover around 25% on the 50 EMA. Now ARM is getting a pretty good looking reversal on the downside for this weekly candle breakdown after several tests on the weekly 50 EMA. Gonna hold it maybe 110, hopefully. And we are getting a bounce. Oh, got stopped out. Try it again. Price stop again. I think now this we can still say it's over. Probably, but still is. Let's see whether it can recover from the 21 EMA. I don't want to be too confident on that one. SNDK is tricky. Maybe should have short MSTR, but never mind. I think it's fine. Maybe I can get another entry tomorrow or later. I think circle is still a good pick. I really like the first bounce into the 21 EMA. SFC kept down and breaking down. Oh, I think I missed this one. Metals too. Hopefully can hold up a bit. I waited for this opportunity for a month. Hopefully I'm not gonna miss this one. Finally seeing some selling today. Just some. Don't see anything panic or crazy yet. So I think not much to do for today. I'm just going to watch the market or maybe covering some shorts into the weakness. But I'm pretty confident on some of the core week. I'm going to hold it for longer. Western Digital already covered. SNDK just below the 21. I'm not going to cover here. STX, I'm also not going to cover this one as I choose Western Digital already. QBTS and RNQ not yet. I already covered some QBTS, so not sure. I want to share the AMD with you. I closed AMD yesterday. I did a reflection on this trade today. There's several area of improvement for this. The first one is, I think the major one is my entry. I shorted it on Friday, which I think it is definitely a bad one. Like my play is to use AMD as a sympathy trade with the semiconductor ETF, and AMD is the weaker one compared to the sector ETF, and therefore I choose AMD. But I believe that it is better to trade like the sector ETF. That is to separate the individual stocks with the sector ETF, because if the AMD can easily bounce back to the 9 EMA and go back lower, like it can violate my stop, and then it could like have a high probability of violating my stop and then continue to the downside. And actually, is on the entry day, the sector ETF is not yet bouncing back even to the hourly 9 EMA. So it's not yet bouncing into the daily, even not yet into the hourly too. Therefore, I think my entry is quite bad. And like if I really wanted to short AMD or like to short this semi ETF, rather like I can short AMD earlier, like I can really focus into the AMD individual performance, the charts, maybe short it on Thursday rather than on a Friday. Therefore, I think in hindsight, I should have waited for the bounce at least to the 9 EMA. Although it didn't happen, but this time I got lucky. The market gaps down, but maybe what if in today just the market is gapping up? There could be then really easy like a gap up above my stop, and then I got stopped out with a larger loss than expected one, because I have a higher standard on my entry. I don't want to short it with I really want to short at the resistance, right at the resistance, not somewhere a bit extended from them. I got stopped out from circle. Not yet, but probably soon. And the reason I closed AMD yesterday is I traded Nvidia, but I got stopped out, and yesterday the market bounces quite strongly, and then I think the first reason, like the entry, I think it's not the optimal. It's not optimal enough. It's not good enough, and then I think I shouldn't have taken this trade, and then I just get out of it. What can I do better? I shouldn't have taken this trade on Friday. Then, although it is still a small game, but I really don't like my entry. Yes, I use IBKR TWS Trader Workstation. Circle coming back again. If I got stopped out on this one, then I think no more trade taken for today. I can do a quick walkthrough on my short positions. The QBTS is the bounce into the declining 9 EMA on the weekly chart, and the daily EMAs are trending down. Weekly 9 is below the 21. 50 started to flatten out and then slowly trying to turn. Core width is an inverse EP. Also the weekly EMAs, the 9 is below the 21, and a fake out into the upside, but the gap down on the earnings completely changed the weekly candle upside down, and then kind of lose the 87 weekly support level or daily support level, like a small range on the 87-ish area. Losing the weekly 9 EMA. I went into the 50 EMA bounce, but this one I got stopped out, and then second day gaps down, and I just take the short into the first 5-minute breakdown, I think. Yes. Is the weekly reversal on the 50 EMA, and on the hourly charts, there's the bounce into the declining 9 EMA. S&T I've looking like tracking this one for so long. Got stopped out several times. This one would be kind of a. The memory names are the weakness in STX especially, and Western Digital too, starting to lose the 9 EMA, close below 9 EMA, cannot close above the weak angle VWAP from the swing high. It's starting to show some weakness, and I took the short yesterday on the pullback into the declining 9 EMA. And SNDK, like before when it starts to build this flag, I just being skeptical about the high volume and the lack of pullback, and I mean the huge pullback, not a huge one, but at least weekly 21 EMA. Like it's pretty extended in the right here, right at the after the earnings at this doji candle, and there's a high volume reversal, and like all the AI related names, the data centers related ones, like maybe the optics, the fibers, this is the memory names, the subsector, you name it, and then most of them are just riding the 921, and then some are even haven't visited the 50 EMA since the uptrend. Personally, and the breadth is like declining the general market. I'm just being skeptical about whether the hype continues and the money continues flowing into these stocks after they went up for more than 1,500%. I don't know. It can still find support and then fake out to the downside and continues up. The 9 EMA on the weekly chart, probably 530 something. 530 is the first level that I'm interested to take some profits. But it really depends on the market and in other stocks. And I don't seem not seeing much bearish sentiment. Like still a lot of people are focusing on the long side, focusing on the leaders. I'm not saying this is they're wrong, but at the same time, I think a lot of people ignore the laggards and the one that they show weakness and the declining breadth. You're playing the long side, I think like you can still get some really decent opportunities. I just don't like the breadth and the lack of pullbacks. And the next opportunities are the gold and silver that I'm really wanting to get the entries in. And there's a post on Twitter that I once wrote that you should be 5 steps ahead in trading. Like you're not improvising your trading ideas after the open. You should plan your trades before the open, and I think it's better to plan your trades days ahead before the charts really confirms it. That would be the highest level of trade planning, and I think it really helps you to keep focus on the best ideas and not getting distracted from the noise, from the news, from what other people are talking about, from the whatever information that you get externally. This PATL is still going. Yeah, I think IPKL doesn't have any locates. Red Cat is also going. That is a bit unexpected. I thought it would be building an inside day for around the under the anchor VWAP. But looks like it's trying to look for more. No, got stopped out from circle again. So I think that's it. Nvidia pull back to the daily 9 EMA. Yeah. I think yesterday trade is also I'm more just over trading. Probably because like some of my semi names that is like is doing well yesterday, then I think I am a little bit more convicted to the semi short ideas. So yesterday 9 EMA on the dailies, I don't think it's a good entry. But I think I just tried once, so it is fine. At least I'm not risking too much and lose too much into this fair, I would say, a bad entry. And like simply bounce into the declining 9 EMA is, you won't get a high win rate. So I think a try is okay, but if you're taking 2 or 3 losses or more, that would be not wise. But I really love the weekly pullback into the weekly 9 EMA. Let's see whether we can get another entry. PAL? No idea. I'm just going to focus on the short side in this market. Put this ABs into the yesterday's anchor VWAP and also the previous swing low area. I'm not sure about this one, but let's see how it plays out. The market gap down by 2%. Yes, that's why I'm just taking circle. I'm just trying to take circle for today. There could easily a bounce. Any support. It's a little bit too late to short. Better to wait for the bounce, and I'm really looking for the bounce. That is that I can add to my shorts, or trying to find another more shorts entries, short ideas. The only thing that I hope for is the gold and silver, it just stop going down. Now it's getting a little bit accelerated, but the individual name still looks fine. Not really that extended to the downside. And a lot of the leaders are still up there, trying to. I think there could be more room to the downside.